The Secret of the Relic. I should never have gone there that night. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can feel the weight of that silence, the kind that burrows under your skin and settles in your bones. The ruins were nothing but broken stones, cracked walls, and shadows that seemed too alive. Yet as I stepped closer, something stirred inside me, something I could not name, but it clawed at me like a warning. The air was sharp, unnaturally cold. My breath came out as mist, and with each exhale I felt as if the darkness was swallowing it whole. I told myself, this place is dead, abandoned, nothing here but dust and memories. But I was wrong, so very wrong. A chill ran through my spine. It wasn't the wind, it wasn't the night. It was a presence, a gaze invisible yet unbearable, pressing on my back. I froze, my ears straining. Nothing, no footsteps, no voice, and yet I knew someone was watching me. I moved deeper, into the broken heart of the ruins. My hands brushed the cold stone walls, their surfaces uneven and scarred. The stones felt almost like flesh, scarred and wounded, bleeding history. I whispered to myself, why am I here? What am I searching for? Perhaps I wanted adventure, perhaps answers, or maybe I was simply running from myself. The silence thickened, so heavy I thought I could hear my own heartbeat echoing back from the walls. I swallowed hard, tasting the metallic bite of fear. Go back, leave now. That's what my instinct screamed. But another voice, quieter, more dangerous, pulled me forward. Don't stop. The truth is close. A sudden crack, the sound of stone shifting under pressure. My body jolted, eyes darting to the shadows. A slab had fallen nearby, stirring a cloud of dust. For a moment, I thought I saw a figure moving within that cloud, tall, watching. But when the air cleared, nothing. Just the ruins, still and lifeless. My pulse raced. I told myself I was imagining things, but deep down I knew these ruins were not empty. I reached the inner chamber, the one everyone in town whispered about. Cursed, they said, a place where the past never dies. Superstition, I thought, and yet, as I crossed the threshold, my body shivered violently, like stepping into water made of ice. The chamber was small, carved into the earth itself. The ceiling hung low, the air stale, heavy with age. My lantern light flickered, shadows dancing across the stone. And there, against the far wall, I saw it, half buried in dust and rubble. A faint glimmer. I bent down. My fingers trembled as I brushed the dirt away. What I held was delicate, silver, its surface tarnished with time. A medallion, cold as the grave. I hesitated before opening it. My breath quickened. My palms were slick with sweat. Then I clicked it open. Inside, a woman's face. Her portrait drawn with exquisite care, though faded with age. Her eyes were dark pools of sorrow, her lips curved in a faint smile, as if hiding a secret. I stared at her, and for a terrifying instant I thought she stared back. My chest tightened, my skin prickled. Then from the darkness, a voice, soft, sharp, "Give it back." I stumbled back, the medallion nearly slipping from my hands. My lantern shook violently, shadows splitting into grotesque shapes along the walls. My breath caught in my throat. "Who's there?" My voice cracked, fragile against the suffocating silence. No reply. Only the medallion in my palm, colder than before, as if it had absorbed the whisper itself. I stood frozen, my mind screaming to leave, but my feet would not move. Instead, I found myself staring at the woman in the medallion again, my heart pounding with a question I dared not ask. Who was she? And why did it feel as if she had been waiting for me?
The whisper clung to my ears long after it faded. "Give it back." The words had been sharp, undeniable, though no one stood in that chamber but me. My fingers tightened around the medallion until my knuckles burned. For a moment I thought of throwing it to the ground, of running and never returning. But some stubborn instinct chained me in place. I forced myself to breathe. 1, 2, 3. In and out. The sound of my own breath became louder than the silence. My heart beat like a frantic drum, and I whispered to myself, "Calm down. There's no one here. No one." But even my own voice didn't believe me. The medallion pulsed in my palm, or maybe it was just my imagination. I raised it to the lantern light again, staring into the woman's faded portrait. Her eyes, dark, eternal, seemed to plead with me or warn me. I couldn't decide. I slid the medallion into my pocket. Its weight was unnatural, far heavier than silver should be, as if it carried not only metal, but memory. That was when I heard the sound. Not a whisper this time. A breath. Shallow, uneven, close. I spun around, the lantern beam slicing across the chamber. Dust swirled, shadows leapt, my throat tightened, waiting, praying to see nothing. But in the corner of my eye, I caught movement, a figure retreating into the darkness of the corridor. "Hey!" I shouted, though fear strangled the word. "Who's there?" Silence. I stumbled toward the passage, my lantern swaying wildly. The stones seemed to close in, the air pressing against my chest. But when I reached the corridor, nothing, just emptiness. Still, the dust on the ground told another story. Fresh footprints, barely visible, but there, and they were not mine. I wanted to leave, to follow the instinct screaming inside me. Yet something else pulled me deeper. Curiosity, or maybe madness. I traced the footprints until they disappeared into rubble. Whoever it was had vanished. I returned to the chamber, unsettled, when the whisper returned. This time it was not in my ears, but inside my head. "It doesn't belong to you." I gritted my teeth, clutching the medallion tighter. "Then who does it belong to?" I hissed into the void. No answer. Only silence. Thick, suffocating, cruel. I turned to leave. That's when I heard it. Footsteps. Clear, deliberate, behind me. I whirled around, lantern raised like a weapon. Shadows leapt across the walls, stretching into monstrous shapes. The footsteps stopped, and then, nothing. My breathing quickened, sweat dripping down my neck. I was losing my mind, that's what I told myself. But even then, I knew it wasn't true. Something was here. Something wanted the medallion. I hurried through the ruins, every nerve screaming. The night outside felt no safer than the chamber itself. The ruins stood silent under the pale moon, their jagged edges like teeth against the sky. I moved quickly, my eyes scanning every corner. That's when I saw it. At the edge of the ruins, half hidden by shadows, a figure stood, still, waiting. The lantern light flickered, catching her face, a young woman, pale skin, dark hair, and eyes that reflected the moonlight like water. She watched me without moving, her gaze fixed on my pocket where the medallion rested. I froze, my mouth went dry. Who are you?" Her lips parted, but the words were not hers. They were the same whisper I had heard in the chamber. "Give it back." The voice did not match her face. Too old, too heavy with grief. My chest tightened. I staggered back. But when I blinked, she was gone. The night swallowed her, leaving only silence and the echo of her demand. I pressed a hand to my chest, my heartbeat thunderous.
I pressed a hand to my chest, my heart beat thunderous. No, I whispered to myself, not until I know the truth. The medallion seemed to burn against my skin, alive with secrets I could not yet understand, and though fear gnawed at me, something stronger kept me from letting go. I didn't know it yet, but that choice, holding on to the medallion, was the moment everything began.
Morning light never felt so sharp. By the time I left the ruins, the first touch of dawn had begun to bleed across the horizon. My body was heavy, my eyes burned, and yet I could not sleep. The medallion lay in my pocket like a stone, dragging every thought back into the shadows of the night. I told myself I'd never return to those ruins. I told myself I'd forget the whisper, the footprints, the face of the woman who vanished into moonlight. But lies taste bitter even on your own tongue. The truth was simple. I couldn't let go. The town was just waking when I reached the square. Merchants opened their shutters, children chased one another through narrow streets, but all of it felt unreal, distant. Their laughter seemed like echoes from another world. That's when I saw her. She stood near the fountain, half hidden in the morning haze. Dark hair pulled back, sharp eyes watching the world with a focus that unsettled me. She was younger than I expected, yet something about her presence carried the weight of years. Our eyes met, and though she was a stranger, I felt as if she knew me. I wanted to walk away, but she approached first. "You were in the ruins last night." Her voice was calm, measured, almost too certain. I stiffened. "How do you know that?" She tilted her head slightly, a faint knowing smile brushing her lips. "Because I was there too." My throat tightened. Images of the shadowed figure, the whisper, the vanished woman flashed in my mind. I tried to keep my voice steady. "You? Then it was you I saw." She didn't answer at first. She just studied me, her gaze flicking briefly to my pocket. "You found something." Every muscle in my body went rigid. I shifted slightly, covering the pocket with my hand. "I don't know what you're talking about." Her smile didn't fade, but her eyes, God, her eyes cut through me like knives. "Don't lie. I know what's in your pocket, the medallion." I froze. My voice betrayed me. "How do you—" She stepped closer, her tone softening, but her intensity sharpening. "Because it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to me." The words hit me like thunder. My thoughts tangled, panic rising. I wanted to deny it, to run, but instead I asked the only question that mattered. "Who are you?" She hesitated, then spoke. "My name is Claire." Claire. The name felt heavy, deliberate, as though spoken in a story that had begun long before I was born. She studied me again, then sighed. "I didn't mean to frighten you. I'm a researcher. I've studied these ruins for years. That medallion—" Her voice cracked slightly, though her eyes didn't soften. "Is part of what I've been searching for. Please, let me see it." Her plea was gentle, her expression almost sincere. Yet beneath it, I felt the tremor of something hidden. I shook my head slowly. "Not until I know the truth." Her jaw tightened. For a moment, her mask slipped, and I glimpsed something fierce beneath the calm. Desperation. Maybe even fear. "You don't understand," she whispered. "That medallion, it's dangerous in the wrong hands. You shouldn't even be carrying it." I almost laughed, though my voice was thin. "And yours are the right hands, I suppose." Her eyes flashed. "Yes." Silence stretched between us. The fountain gurgled softly. Children laughed in the distance, but none of it touched us. We stood locked in a silent war neither of us wanted to start, but neither of us could avoid. Inside, my thoughts collided. Do I trust her? Do I hand over the medallion and walk away? Or is this the first step into something I can't escape? Her expression shifted again, softening, melting into something I didn't expect: vulnerability. Her voice dropped. "I'm not your enemy, but if you keep what's mine, others will come for you, and they won't ask nicely." Others. The word lodged itself in my mind like a thorn. Who were they, and why did I feel she wasn't lying this time? I took a breath, steadying myself. "Then tell me everything. Tell me what this medallion really is." She looked away, her lips pressing into a thin line. When she finally met my eyes again, her gaze was filled with something that unsettled me more than anger ever could: regret. "I can't," she whispered. "Not yet." And with those words, the fragile thread of trust between us began to fray. I wanted to walk away, to leave her standing there with her secrets, but as I turned, she reached out, her hand brushing my arm, her voice breaking for the first time. "Please, just be careful. You don't know what you've stepped into." Her touch lingered. Her eyes shimmered with something I almost mistook for tears. Almost. And as I pulled away, my heart twisted with a question I didn't want to ask. Was she trying to save me, or was she setting the trap tighter around my neck?
The cursed parchment wouldn't leave me alone. The one you call friend wears two faces. Every time Daniel's face appeared in my mind, I saw two shadows behind his smile. One warm and familiar, the friend I had trusted since childhood. The other, cold, sharp, and dangerous. Am I imagining this, or have I been blind all along? By morning, my chest ached from the weight of questions. I had to know more. I had to return. When I reached the monument, fog coiled around the stones like pale snakes. The silence was unnatural, heavy, and then I froze. Someone was already there, a figure crouched near the base, fiddling with something. My breath caught. "Who's there?" I demanded. My voice trembled, betraying me. The figure straightened quickly. To my shock, it was Evelyn, Daniel's sister. "Claire," she gasped, clearly startled. "What are you doing here?" I stepped closer, my heart pounding. I could ask you the same. Her hands twitched nervously. Then I noticed it. She was clutching something, hiding it behind her back. Metal glinted briefly in the dim light. "What's that in your hand?" I asked sharply. "Nothing," she replied too quickly. Her voice quivered. You shouldn't be here." I narrowed my eyes, suspicion clawing at me. "Don't lie to me, Evelyn." She turned away as if to leave, but instinct drove me forward. I grabbed her wrist. She gasped, and the object slipped from her grasp, clattering onto the stone floor. It was an ancient key, heavy and rusted, yet strangely intact. My pulse hammered. "What is this?" I whispered. Her face went pale. "You don't understand. If they find out I had this, they'll kill me." The word kill sent a shiver slicing through me. "Who?" I pressed, tightening my grip. "Who are you talking about?" Before she could answer, a familiar voice cut through the air. "Daniel." I froze. Evelyn's body stiffened in my grip. We both turned slowly. There, standing just a few steps away, was Daniel. He looked calm, too calm. His eyes locked on mine with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "I warned you, didn't I? I told you to stay away from this place." My throat dried. Evelyn tried to pull free, but I didn't let go. "Daniel," I said, carefully, forcing calm into my voice. "Why are you here?" His eyes flickered to the key lying near my feet. For just a second, the mask slipped. There was something sharp, predatory in his expression. Then it vanished, replaced by that same smooth smile. You really shouldn't meddle in things you don't understand. Secrets buried here were never meant to be unearthed. Inside, panic clawed at me, but I couldn't let him see it. Was this it? Was Daniel the friend with two faces? Or was Evelyn playing her own game? Evelyn suddenly yanked free from my grip. In one quick motion, she bent, scooped up the key, and pressed it into my palm while Daniel's eyes were fixed on hers. Her hand squeezed mine hard, desperate, trembling. Her whisper was barely audible, but it pierced my chest like a blade. "Don't trust him." Daniel's gaze snapped back to me, and my blood ran cold. He had seen the exchange. I knew he had. But he only smiled wider, stepping closer, his voice low, deliberate. "You have no idea what you've stumbled into, and once you know, there's no way back." The key in my hand felt like ice. Evelyn was trembling beside me. Daniel's smile looked less human, more like a mask stretched too thin. And in that crushing silence, I understood one thing: whether Evelyn was ally or enemy, and whether Daniel was liar or protector, I was trapped between them, with no way to escape.
That night, I couldn't stop touching the key. Its jagged edges dug into my palm like it wanted to remind me it was real and dangerous. Evelyn's words kept repeating in my head. Don't trust him. But who was him? Daniel or someone else? I returned to the monument at dawn, when the fog still blanketed the world. My hands trembled as I pressed the key into the small stone panel where the symbol was carved. The sound it made, the soft click, echoed like thunder in my ears. The panel shifted, grinding open, and a dark cavity revealed itself. Inside lay a narrow staircase spiraling down into blackness. My stomach twisted. Part of me screamed to turn back, but another voice, my mother's voice, whispered, "The truth always hides in the dark." I stepped down. The air grew colder with each step. My candle barely lit the way, but enough to see carvings along the wall, strange shapes, twisted faces, and words etched in Latin I couldn't read. At the bottom, I reached a small chamber. In the center stood a stone pedestal. Upon it, a leather-bound book, dusty but intact. My heart raced. I reached for it. "Claire!" The voice shattered the silence. I spun around. Daniel stood in the chamber's entrance, torchlight flickering over his face. How did you—" I stammered. He stepped closer, slowly, deliberately. "I told you not to come here, but you never listened." I backed away, clutching the book to my chest. "What is this place? What are you hiding from me?" My voice trembled with fear and rage. Daniel's eyes glinted. "I'm not hiding anything. I'm protecting you. That book, it contains the truth. But once you read it, nothing will ever be the same. You'll lose everything." My pulse roared. Protecting me or controlling me? Before I could answer, Evelyn appeared behind him, her face pale, eyes wide. "Don't listen to him, Claire," she shouted. "He's been lying since the beginning." Daniel's head snapped toward her. For a split second, the mask slipped, his expression twisted with fury. And in that instant, I realized the truth was about to tear us all apart.
The book was heavy in my arms, its leather cracked with age, its clasp cold as bone. My fingers trembled as I pulled it open. The pages were filled with sharp handwriting, drawn symbols, names I didn't recognize. But one line stood out, bold, underlined as if it demanded to be remembered. The monument is not a memorial. It is a prison. My blood froze. A prison? I whispered. Daniel's hand shot forward, trying to snatch the book away, but I pulled back, clutching it to my chest. "Tell me the truth, Daniel," my voice echoed through the stone chamber. "Who's imprisoned here?" His face darkened. "You don't want to know?" "I do." Evelyn stepped closer, her voice urgent. "Claire, he's been guarding this place for years. He knows everything. He's part of it." Daniel's jaw clenched. His torchlight flickered against the carvings, making his shadow loom monstrous on the wall. "You think I'm the villain, Evelyn? I'm the only one keeping her alive." "Alive from what?" I cried. Silence. His eyes flickered, torn between rage and something like fear. Finally, in a low voice, he said, "The monument holds something older than this town, older than us all. If it's freed, no one will survive." My heart pounded so hard it hurt. I glanced down at the book again. More words seemed to blur into focus. "The guardian must deceive, must wear two faces, or the truth will devour them." Two faces. The phrase stabbed through me like ice. The parchment had warned me. But what if I'd misunderstood? What if Daniel wasn't betraying me, but playing a role he hated just to keep the secret locked? My mind spun. Was Evelyn using me to break the seal? Was Daniel lying to keep control? Or was the truth even darker than both of them? Evelyn's voice cut through my thoughts. "Claire, give me the book." Daniel stepped closer, voice firm. "No, give it to me." I was trapped between them. The ancient book in my hands, the words prison burning in my mind. Whoever I chose to trust could decide not only my fate, but everyone's. And in that suffocating silence, I realized the cruelest part of all. The book didn't say what was imprisoned here. Not yet.
The silence pressed in on me. My hand shook as I turned another page of the book. Dust rose like smoke, and then I saw it. An illustration, crude but clear. A figure, bound in chains, buried beneath the monument. Its face was not human. Hollow eyes, a mouth stretched unnaturally wide. Beneath it, words written in sharp strokes. "The devourer sleeps here. If it wakes, the world will drown in its hunger." My breath caught. "The devourer," I whispered. Evelyn's face went pale. Daniel's jaw tightened. He stepped forward. "Now you see, this monument isn't a tribute. It's a lock, and I've given everything to keep it shut." Evelyn's voice broke, trembling but fierce. "He's lying, Claire. The devourer is not a monster. It's power. Power stolen from us, hidden here by the council. They used Daniel to guard it like a chained dog." Daniel's eyes flashed with rage. "Don't listen to her. She wants to unleash it. She wants to use it." Their voices clashed around me, echoing like blades in the chamber. My head spun. Monster or power? Guardian or deceiver? I stared at the book again. The ink seemed to crawl under my gaze. My chest tightened, and for a moment I swore I heard a whisper rising from beneath the stone floor. It was faint, chilling, like a breath brushing my ear. "Claire, free me." I staggered back. "Did you hear that?" Evelyn's eyes widened. "Yes, it's calling you." Daniel's face darkened. "Don't listen. That's how it starts. That's how it gets inside you. My thoughts cracked apart under the pressure. Fear, curiosity, a hunger not my own, clawing inside my chest. The key was still in my pocket, heavy as if it burned through the fabric. The book trembled in my hands, or maybe it was me trembling. And in that moment, I understood the cruel truth. The monument wasn't just a prison. It was a door, and I was holding the key. The chamber shook as if the monument itself had taken a breath. The whisper grew louder, sliding into my bones. "Claire, free me." My knees nearly buckled. My mother's words flashed in my mind. Some truths are chains, not gifts. Evelyn grabbed my arm. "We can control it. With that power, no one will ever hurt us again." Daniel stepped forward, his voice breaking. "Don't do it, Claire. Don't listen. The Devourer doesn't grant power. It consumes it. That's why it was locked away." The book trembled in my hands. I could feel it now, the pulse beneath the stone floor, like a heartbeat waiting to wake. My choice would decide everything. Power or survival. Betrayal or trust. I closed my eyes, my chest burned. Then, suddenly, I knew what I had to do. With a cry, I hurled the book into the pedestal's flame. Fire roared up, devouring the pages. Evelyn screamed, "No! Do you know what you've done?" The whisper turned into a shriek echoing in my skull. The chamber shook violently, cracks splitting the walls. Daniel grabbed me, pulling me toward the stairs. But Evelyn, she didn't follow. She clutched at the pedestal, her face wild, desperate. "I won't let it die! I won't let it—" Before she could finish, the ground beneath her split apart. A howl of inhuman hunger erupted from the depths. Evelyn's scream was swallowed into the darkness as the stones collapsed over her. I cried out, but Daniel dragged me upward. "No! Don't look back!" We burst into the cold morning light as the monument sealed itself shut with a thunderous crack. Dust clouded the air. Silence returned. I fell to my knees, shaking, tears burning down my cheeks. Evelyn was gone. The book was ash. The key lay shattered in my palm. Daniel knelt beside me, his voice hoarse. "It's over. For now." "For now," I echoed. My chest ached with grief, but also relief. Because I knew the Devourer would never be freed, not as long as I lived. And yet, in the quiet fog, I swore I heard one last whisper, fading, but not gone. "Claire, this is not the end."